Hello again and welcome to our Nigerian viewers and viewers across the world. This is News at 5 and here are the stories that we are following for you this hour. We begin with our top story this hour. Justice Peter Lifu of the Federal High Court in Abuja has delivered judgment stopping the People's Democratic Party, PDP, from proceeding with its 2025 National Convention scheduled for Ibadan, Oyo States, in a suit preferred against the party by former Jigawa State Governor Sule Lamido. The convention we hear is built to hold between November 15 to 16 for the purpose of electing national officers of the party. Delivering judgment, Justice Lifu barred the PDP from proceeding with the convention until it complies with its constitution and guidelines on the convention. He ordered that the convention must be put on hold until Sule Lamido is allowed to purchase a nomination form for the office of the national chairman. The judge further prohibited the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) from supervising, monitoring or raiding the convention until the former governor participates in the convention. The judge also held that PDP is under strict obligation to adhere to its own rules and regulations by giving opportunities to eligible members to realize their aspirations. And that's why Justice Lifu also added that it was wrong of the PDP to have denied Lamido the opportunity to purchase a nomination form for the office of the national chairman of the party. Well, in a rather twists and turns of events, they all seem set for the elective national convention of the PDP in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. The party is insisting that the scheduled event is sacrosanct. Governors of the platform of the party, who emerged from a late-night meeting held in Abuja on Thursday with critical stakeholders to appraise recent developments surrounding the planned convention, maintain that there is no going back. The meeting, which held at the Bauchi State Governor's Lodge, had in attendance the governors of Adamawa, Oyo and Bauchi states, alongside members of the Damagun-led National Working Committee and the Board of Trustees of the party. The planned convention is built to hold tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday, amidst a myriad of controversies, including conflicting court rulings and judgments, as well as the lack of a consensus among members of the party on critical issues.
We have just come out of a critical stakeholders meeting where a lot of elaborate decisions were taken. And I want to tell you here that we are going to Ibadan to go for our convention, and the convention is sacrosanct.
Away from politics, the newly appointed theater commander of the Joint Task Force Northwest Operation, Fasan Yama, Major General Wara Idris, has pledged a renewed and decisive offense against banditry, terrorism, and related crimes across parts of Niger State. Well, speaking at the government house, Mina, the theater commander, is assuring that the Nigerian military remains committed to restoring peace and protecting Nigerians under the directive of the Chief of Defense Staff and President Bola Tinubu. General Idris, who was on a familiarization and operational assessment visit to the state, says his mission is to evaluate the terrain, assess troops' readiness, and strengthen coordination in the fight against insecurity.
The fight against insurgency is receiving a boost as a newly appointed theater commander of the Joint Task Force in the Northwest visits Niger State on an operational assessment of the area.
Thank you.
Without mincing words, he declares mission to the state.
Under my command, I have Sector 1, Sector 2, and Sector 3, one of which covers part of Niger State, not the whole of Niger State. It becomes necessary for me after taking over to visit all my my troops and their locations, assess and evaluate the situation, the terrain, and the morale and motivation of my troops.
Governor Mohammed Bago warmly receives the theatre commander and his team, commending their efforts and reaffirming the state's full cooperation with the military.
But I want to thank them for their resilience. I want to thank them for their continued support to the populace of Niger State. They have demonstrated what the military is to other forces, to other security agencies. They have seen this time around the commitment of men of the armed forces in the fight against terrorism, insurgency, and also banditry.
The governor equally highlighted Niger's vast landmass and agricultural importance, noting that the state, particularly Borgu and Kanji Lake areas, have been exploited by criminals for years due to its forested terrain.
Because of the size of our land, we want a lot of air action, more action, because we have received, honestly, a lot of air support from Nigerian Air Force, and we are very grateful. They've done a lot of interdiction for us, and by the grace of God, we can say some of the things we have achieved is because there was cooperation from the Air Force.
The theatre commander, who was accompanied by senior officers from the Army, Air Force and Navy, including the GOC-1 division, commended the state government for its support and assured that the joint task force will not relent until peace is fully restored.
Away from security now, the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Nigeria, PENGASN, is leading an advocacy for improved welfare of its members, especially in the amount of money paid to retirees of the sector. President of the body, Mr. Festus Sifo, made the call at a summit of the future of oil and gas pensioners in Abuja. Some of the participants are also demanding stronger pension laws that cater to the needs of pensioners.
Members of the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association, PENGASN, regulators in the oil and gas sector, and pension managers are attending this summit in Abuja on the future of pension in the oil and gas sector.
Solidarity!
At the core of the discussions are issues bordering on the welfare of pensioners in the oil and gas sector.
At the end of today, the expectation is that we come up with aggregate of opinions. We will now come up with a communique that we are going to use in engaging management of the respective organizations, in engaging the operators of the CPFAs across the oil and gas industry. The ones that are doing what is right, we thank you. The ones that are doing things to ensure that pensioners, what they get at the end of a month, continuously increase with the reality of time. We appreciate you.
PENCOM has maintained rigorous oversight over the PFA structure to ensure prudential management and sustainability. And some of the key regulatory milestones that have happened in recent times include one, we have already settled this, the 2014 cutoff date for CPFA licenses, which prevented proliferation and ensured that only solvent, well-managed legacy schemes remain in operation. The Commission has adopted a risk-based approach to supervision, which emphasizes risk management, governance quality, and sustainability metrics in supervising CPFAs.
A key objective of this summit is to aggregate opinions of participants on how to manage pension funds in a way that improves the lives of pensioners in the oil and gas sector. Issues around pension laws and pension fund security are brought to the fore.
How do we make pension sustainable? How do we make it future-proof? How do we ensure that this promise is kept and delivered? What about the security of our pension fund itself? So the monies are there. Will they continue to be there? The first thing will be a very strong regulatory framework. Without regulation, people can do whatever it is they want, whether they are blacks or they are whites.
The summit hopes to harvest opinions of participants, which will guide the leadership of Pengasyn in their advocacy for a better pension for oil and gas workers.
The acting Vice-Chancellor of Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka, Professor Carol Arinze Umobi, has approved life-changing projects in the 3 campuses of the university to cater to the welfare of staff and students of the institution. Officially commissioning the projects for use in Agulu, Mbaku and Awka campuses, Professor Arinze Umobi notes that each of the projects means a lot to the university community, and any decision not taken to execute them will bring the welfare of staff and students down.
Welcome.
The 3 campuses of the Nnamdi Azikiwe University in Anambra State are witnessing a remarkable transformation as key infrastructure projects are commissioned to enhance the welfare of both staff and students.
In the name of our Lord Jesus Christ, we call this day. Amen. Amen.
At the Faculty of Pharmaceutical Sciences, Agulu campus, the Type C male and female hostel buildings have been refurbished and given a fresh new look. And over at the School of Pre-Science in Mbauku, projects including 2 lavatories, 2 kitchen buildings, a borehole with a 6,000-litre capacity tank, solar panels, and other essential facilities have been completed and all ready for staff and students' use.
This one I remembered when I brought it. I said, in fact, if you enter the hostel, you will not be happy to see what we greet you first before entering that. And when I brought it up, immediately you approved again.
We don't have a convenience room. She has provided one for us. You can see the solar lights, about 100 of them. When you come here in the night, you won't believe that this is MPK you used to know in those days.
During her inspection and commissioning, the acting Vice-Chancellor emphasizes that staff and students' welfare remain a top priority.
When I was here on my first missionary journey, it wasn't like this. And when the DA complained about it, I said there is need for us to do a kind of facelift so that at least it will look fresh.
I want to appreciate our mommy General. She has proven time without measure that she has the students at her heart. And all that she has done here today, we want to say a very big thank you to you. Mommy, your impact will never be forgotten in this school.
On the main campus in Awka, she lays the foundation stone for the Unizik Microfinance Bank, commissions 2 dialysis and renal machines, digital X-ray equipment, a new security surveillance unit, 3 coaster buses for staff transport, and multiple metal waste receptacles. Staff and students have expressed immense satisfaction with the projects and pledged to take ownership, ensuring their proper use and sustainability.
Back in Gombe State, Governor Inuwa Yaya has presented a budget estimate of 535.7 billion naira to the State House of Assembly for scrutiny. Titled Budget of Consolidation, the governor says the appropriation bill is his administration's gift for posterity.
Most welcome. Governor Inuwa Yahaya of Gombe State makes his way into the State House Assembly for the yearly ritual as he presents the 2026 appropriation bill to the state lawmakers.
Thank you so much.
Government officials are joined by traditional leaders and civil society organizations for the presentation. Following the conclusion of legislative protocols, Governor Yahaya takes the stage to present the budget estimates, which are titled Budget of Consolidation. The total budget size is 535,691,983,000 naira. 69.34% of the budget, which is 371,441,170,000 naira, will be for capital projects, while 164,250,813,000 naira, which represents 30.6%, is for recurrent expenditure.
This budget
is designed to ensure.
The governor explains that the budget is strategically aligned with the development agenda of the state, which he believes follows the broader national economic landscape.
It is a budget that prioritizes the pressing needs of our people while firmly anchoring our development trajectory on the pillars of sustainability, equity, and inclusive growth.
A breakdown of the budget reveals that the economic sector will get 269,542,100,000 naira, and the social sector is getting 80,098,070,000 naira. The governor explains the administration's ambition to put the state on the path of industrialization and economic prosperity.
It is designed to be both visionary and pragmatic, thus ensuring that our fiscal policies translate directly into tangible and everlasting improvements in the lives and conditions of our citizens.
The sectors with the highest allocations include education, health, and agriculture. After the presentation, the State Commissioner for Budget and Economic Planning describes the budget as bold, visionary, and people-oriented.
This shows a governor that is ready or has been doing his best since 2019 to ensure that Gombe State continues to improve from one position to another.
Back in the chamber of the House, the lawmakers are promising to scrutinize the bill to ensure that the bill meets the expectations of the people.
The Executive Secretary of the National Commission for Al-Majiri and Out-of-School Children Education, Mr. Mohammed Al-Bulature, is appealing to state governors to partner with the federal government in the quest to drastically reduce the number of out-of-school children in Nigeria. Mr. Al-Bulature, who addressed a news conference in Abuja, however, disagreed with the figures that over 18 million children are out of school, calling the figures mischievous, as he reiterates the commitment of the President Bola Tinubu's administration to tackle the situation with renewed vigor.
I know that state governors are working hard to revitalize education in their states, and they are doing all that is required. But what we are saying is, let there be partnership. When we do the identification, we give you, you put them in the school. Once that is done, this handshake between the federal government and the state government, between our commission and the ministries of education in all the statistics, believe you me, before the end of 2027, we are going to address not less than 60% of the issue of out-of-school children. And then another issue that we are doing now for the Al-Majiri and out-of-school children, you beautifully said that why should we reinvent the wheel? What we are trying to do now is actually not reinventing the wheel. We are going to these schools and we are making some renovations in the school, give them support, hire teacher for them, and give them skills. That is what we are doing. And the Al-Ramas are more at home with this. And on the issue of the Jonathan School, I say maybe one is a probability. One of the probabilities of those schools not being occupied was because the madams were actually not consulted. If the madams were consulted, the madams may probably not say, build the schools where I build them. Come and repair our own schools and give us support and we will key in. We now have over 60 Al-Majiri schools where basic education is now introduced.
Let's check in now with our business decks. Members of Premium Bread Makers Association of Nigeria say they are on a mission to unite players in their production value chain, and together they will make and implement plans to confront lack of productivity and non-profitability in bread making business. With this, they say is their target, as they gathered in Lagos with members and non-members of the association to strategize on possible solutions.
It's the third edition of the meeting by Premium Bread Makers Association of Nigeria, PBAN. Faced with harsh macroeconomic realities, the group believes that it has become imperative to x-ray the baking business in Nigeria with a view to boost productivity and profit.
Quality is very important. And then, in every market, product quality does the strongest selling. It earns the trust, loyalty, and repeat of customers. People don't buy bread because they are hungry alone. They buy bread because it looks appetizing. When you bring the bread home, you see you observe your children jubilating, celebrating. Next time you'll be motivated to bring more of that kind of bread. The children won't reject, the bread feels trustworthy. All these quality parameters are rooted in what? In the raw materials.
Participants say that while they desire to give quality product, the pressure of production cost is a challenge.
The finances are stifling us. Interest rates are astronomical. They are way, way out of our reach, You can't go to the bank and get a single-digit loan. All their loans are in 2 digits. And not just in 2 digits, 30 and above, 30+%. How does any business survive with that? All right? The macro and the microeconomic indicators and indices are not favorable to bread making. Most of our inputs, thankfully you are here, you are seeing stakeholders, experts making presentation. Most of our inputs are imported into the country. 98% of the wheat we consume in Nigeria, we use in making bread, is imported.
How do we even deepen, upscale the knowledge of bakers so that they maximize whatever their production is? If a baker is not able to maximize his production, things like cost of ingredient going up will definitely scare him off. But when you know the right mix, when you have the right knowledge, when you are updated on the baking technology knowledge, we believe that it will take something monumental for you to shut down your business.
Those guys, some of your workers, I know your friend.
For a more stable business environment through conversations with
that will not prefer your
and other
flour.
Stakeholders in their value chain.
The SOP, the standard for Mama.
Business news does it for us. Still news at 5 this hour. Thanks indeed for watching. I am Kelly Gigat. I'll be back at the top of the hour with updates from global sports. Bye now.